everything is going really well here in Fort Morgan.
Oh, it's amazing. The whole community is involved. They're excited.
People are starting to understand the huge positive impact that this is going to have.
You can almost feel the life coming back into our streets, into our block, and into our community.
I feel like we've gotten a ton done, but there's something I feel like we're missing. Like we have a blind spot we haven't taken care of.
Something to do. They need something to do. Somewhere
After
to
work.
hang out.
We want people in Fort Morgan to not just work there, but we've got to love living there.
So next, we're going to focus on projects that foster friendliness and togetherness.
People will want to live in a town like that.
We need welcoming spaces.
It is so important to have things to do in your town.
I mean, if you don't feel, for some reason, attached to the place where you're from, you're going to leave it.
There's a lot of value in having places that are not businesses that foster community.
So we're going to head over to an unused lot in the heart of downtown Fort Morgan to create a brand new community space. Greetings.
Hi, Ben.
Good to see you again.
We've got some volunteers to help us because we want to make a special, unusual little park, and it's going to be called a Prairie Maze.
One of a kind.
Yeah, it's the only one like it in Colorado.
The Prairie Maze is kind of like a mix of a corn maze and a Zen garden. This is sort of my little red wagon here because I grew up going to this church camp that had this prayer maze. You would like walk around it and meditate or pray. It was just a path on the ground. It wasn't like a wall of shrubs that you have to find your way out of.
So all of this is for you to use.
Amazing.
Nice.
The gravel lot has been a vacant, unused lot for decades.
It's a huge eyesore.
I don't even know if I would say it's an eyesore. It's not. It's just not really
It's a
anything.
missed opportunity.
Yes.
It could be something. I would love your input as a yoga instructor. Like, what makes people feel peaceful?
Yeah, to have somewhere where people can go and just get away from it all, I think would be really amazing for the town. Something that you can be outside, but also just to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we've got this big blank spot in the middle of downtown, why don't we make it something beautiful?
We have a pretty narrow space to work with, so it should be a winding path that leads you to the maze. Yeah, like a pot of gold at the end of this rainbow, basically. That's how we use the entire space without wasting anything. We'll have these like boulder, shrubby mounds that are in the bends of the path. And then we'll need to have a fence that keeps it safe for kids that are playing in the maze.
That's perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, well, while we're here, do we want to get started?
I do. I think it'd be good to make a little progress.
Let's do it.
I think that my favorite thing about this park is it's something that we have done in Laurel and we know it works. Pinehurst Park in downtown Laurel used to be a motel, and now it's this amazing park where people get married. It's where the Christmas tree lighting happens. It is a huge part of life in our town. And now it's the center of life again for the town. And that's what this can be. It's going to be a really long day. With the Prairie Maze, we just want to add a little something more to it to give it as much ambiance and experience as possible. And so today we are building a giant wind chime, but not just a wind chime, a quiet wind chime.
The sound that wood chimes make is very different from a tinkly metallic sound. I don't want that. This is more of a ooh. It's like a softer.
So it's this great patchwork quilt of different wood species from all over the world. And so in that way, it's something from our shop here in Laurel, but it's very representative of the people of Fort Morgan. I'm literally gonna just cut them out in random thicknesses, random lengths, random sizes, and then we'll drill holes through them and attach the cables to them. As the wind blows, they make contact with each other. They form a community of sound. It's not a loud sound, it's almost unnoticeable. And that's nice, because if you're out there and you're trying to like have a moment of quiet, you don't want something really loud distracting you. And that right there is a wind chime, y'all. This thing is gonna be awesome. Probably gonna need one for my farm.
we can take these blank spaces in downtown and turn them into something new. It's repurposing is what we're doing. And that's what bringing a town back to life is. You find a way to repurpose.
Ben and Erin want this to be Colorado's first Prairie maze, which is a tall order. They've got to turn this parking lot into a green space. So we got to get irrigation, got to get these trench lines run, get the trees in, get the paths, get all the plantings. Christy and I started as landscapers 20 years ago. This is my kind of job.
I love that they are doing this. It's going to be a huge asset to the community and such a benefit to people's just mental health.
When we put up the murals and gave Main Street a facelift, we changed the way things look around Fort Morgan, and that's important. And now that the ground cover and the plants are going in at the Prairie Maze, we're making changes that people can touch and feel and interact with. And once they wander these paths, it's going to give them a new perspective for this part of town. And that plants the seeds for more change, and it just keeps growing from there.
The Prairie Maze is different from anything we've ever done before. We don't have prairies at home, first of all. So we've never built a little meditation garden in homage to a prairie until now. And it's so uniquely Fort Morgan. That's what I think is special about it. I really hope that this inspires other improvements to start popping up. They're here.
They're here.
You ready? I hope that they love it.
How's it going? Yes. Wow.
Amazing. It's finished. I hope you guys love it.
It turned out beautiful.
It came out better than I could have even imagined. It looks so beautiful.
If there's anything I've learned about revitalizing small towns, it's taking the totally unremarkable corners of your town and giving them charm. We think it feels so peaceful, and it gives a little bit of color to this formerly gray and brown nothing.
These community spaces are so important to have a place to go and feel like you can calm down and get away from the busyness that is your job and just have this moment, you know, and you can step away from it all.
Yeah, let's cut this ribbon.
All right.
Ribbon cuttings are so official. It says the work here is done, and this is a new chapter.
It says we're open for business.
3, 2, 1.
I drove past this all the time, and I never even looked this way. It was just an empty parking lot.
We're planting some seeds here, but the people that live here, they're the ones who are going to tend the garden. They're the ones who are going to get this thing growing. This is a starting point. Find all the dead spots in your town and make them something charming, make them beautiful.